Good day, everyone. I've got this Wild Badger Power straight shaft 4-in-1 multi-tool here for an unboxing and review. This thing's battery powered, 20 volt. It has the trimmer attachment in it, pole saw, hedge trimmer, the main body here too, and then it's got the brush cutting blade included as well. And it's supposed to have 2 batteries in it too. So let's see what's inside. Oh man, look at all the stuff that came with it. Well, first of all, it's got 2 batteries and a charger, which is nice. A lot of times, if you're lucky, you get 1 battery. It's got 2 batteries, which is great. It's got the cover here for the weed whacker. Got some Allen wrenches. Got the tool for the chainsaw, chain adjustment. Got the brush cutter and the handle for the main unit there. And then a couple directions. Got directions for the regular user's manual for all the attachments and the main body there, and then also a user's manual for the battery. Man, it's got the strap as well. And here's the head for the weed whacker. Got the handle, like I said, on there. Here's the main body of the thing. That's where all the attachments go there. See, that's just the trigger. Put the battery in there. It's got a little trigger lock on it too. There we go. The battery just goes right there. Now here's the attachments. This is gonna clip in. We're gonna remove that safety end there. And then this is for the weed whacker head. That goes on there. We'll operate each one of these things. This here's for the chainsaw. And then for the hedge trimmer as well. These just were the kind of the guards for it. I'll put these back on when I'm not using it, just in case this gets drops to protect the blade. And here's the bar for the chainsaw. It comes with a plastic cover and the chain as well. Okay, very first thing I'm doing is charging up the battery right out of the box while I'm putting the thing together. Okay, for these batteries, I'm going to show you a little something here. You want to check the level. Push they call it the fuel level button. You push that, and that'll tell you how much life you got left in your charge. So we got quite a bit there, almost a full charge. Okay, the first thing I'd like to demonstrate is the hedge trimmer. So what I'll do is go ahead and take off the cap they got on there. That's where it's going to insert. And here's the main body right there. Go ahead and pop this off. Now to use the edger too, it comes with this little extension pole. We're going to pull these caps off. Okay, now now that we got the caps off, now it's a matter of figuring out which end to install where. So if you set this thing right, the trigger's here, the body's here, and it's facing that way. The end is to the left. This thing's facing up. The label that's on here is going to be straight up towards you. There's a hole there, and there's a hole there. That one's closer to the end. So we're going to install this with the hole that's a little bit farther from the end. I'm going to put that right in here. And then when you put it in there, you pull this up, slide it back into place, and you'll feel it lock in. You feel that lock in? You hear that lock in? Yep, and when you want to pull it out, just pull that up like that, and then pull the extension out. Okay, now we'll take our hedge trimming piece, the end, just slide it right down over there. See, that's going to line up with that hole right there. I'm going to use an Allen wrench for this too. It's going to go right in there like that. Take and tighten that down. If you have trouble figuring out which way this piece goes, you can take this set screw all the way out. Then you can actually see down in there. You see the hole down in there. So we'll just go ahead and screw that all the way down in there to secure it. Well, there's a look at how long this thing is. I'm gonna go ahead and install the handle on it as well. But yeah, that's a nice, let's put a tape measure on this, see how long that is. All right, just over 7 feet. So about 87.5 inches. That's from all the way out to the end here. Well, I'm pretty darn excited to use this thing, so I'm gonna get this handle on here. Okay, one thing you'll notice on here is if you flip this thing over, you'll see 3 holes along the bottom there, just downstream of the trigger. These 3 holes, well, that's where the handle's gonna go. You see that little nub sticking out there? That's gonna go down in one of these 3 holes. So I'm gonna pick the farthest one. So I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up these hex head bolts, and then we'll install it like that. Go ahead and take that. That nub right there is going to go right down in there. Flip it over like that, and then we'll put the handle on that way. Okay, there we go. Now for installing this, if you're doing this by yourself, you need to clamp these 2 together to drive these hex head screws in. So I'm just kind of holding it sideways like this, squeezing it together with my left hand, and then hand tightening these. All right. Yeah, just get it hand tight and then finish it off with the wrench, making it wrench tight. Okay, now we'll go ahead and put the battery in. So you can put that battery there, and you can put another battery right there as well. Okay, there we go. So this thing operates off of dual batteries. If you take one battery out, it won't work. See, I'm pulling the trigger right there just to demonstrate that. I'll put this battery back in. There we go. This thing's ready for some action. So there's the safety right there. Push that one. Same time you... Hey, one thing I want to show you guys too is that this head right here will tilt. And how to do that, you press down on that, and then you press up on this lever right here. So that lever pushes in, and this lever pushes in, and you can tilt it right there. And then something like that might work. Let's test that out. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take this attachment off and show you another one. So I'm just gonna loosen this up here. Now for these next couple attachments, we're gonna use this strap here. And so I wanted to show you something. This strap just hooks right in here, right to the top of it. But they have a little safety pulley here that in an emergency you can pull it, and then it'll detach from the strap. So if this part is around you here, and then this is hooked to the machine, what it'll do is if you pull on this red strap here, it'll detach from the strap. So it just goes like that. Just kind of demonstrating it here. You pull on that, it pulls all the way, pulls this thing all the way out of there. And that way that'll detach from the strap. And to just kind of better show you while it's snapped in there, there's a lot of tension on that. So say if you get the thing hung up or there's an emergency, you just pull on this right there and it comes loose. That's pretty clever. So you can pull on this strap all day long with all the force you want. It'll hold up a lot of force, but it won't come loose. As soon as you pull on this, it comes loose. The other thing is, while I'm changing attachments, I'm going to go ahead and take these batteries out. That way I don't accidentally hit the trigger. It's pretty tough though, because it has a safety on there, but it could happen. You could push that and then pull the trigger at the same time and have a little accident causing an injury. But I'll go ahead and pull those batteries out for good measure. Hey, I want to let you guys know, the next day here, I found this bolt that went through here, this screw here. It was in the box itself. It was out, so I didn't catch it when I did the unboxing. This was the only one I caught, but just so you know, there's a screw that goes right through here as well. All right, I've removed the Hedge trimmer extension from it here. Now we're going to go ahead and do the chainsaw, the pole saw extension attachment. I'm going to go ahead and start with this here. And I'll go ahead and pull the cap. All right, now before I attach this thing, I want to go ahead and get the saw and the bar mounted on here. That's going to go on like that. And we're going to have to adjust it to tighten and loosen the chain. And the chain adjustment is right here. And that hole, that is what helps adjust the chain. I'll show you. Pull the chain out of the bag. Okay, this might be a no-brainer for some of you. Others, it might be helpful. But you want to make sure that this chain, it shows you which direction that the chain goes here. And why that matters is because that's which direction you want your teeth to go, right? So you want your teeth going the way that I have it shown here. You wouldn't want them this way. If it's going that way, your teeth are backwards. Okay, how I like to do it is put the chain on the bar first. So get it nice and snug down in the groove there as best you can. And then you put it in over here, over that, and then we'll adjust as necessary. You can see when you first put it on, that's not going to fit, because what you want is this right there up through that hole there. So we're going to have to loosen it. We'll go move this that way. Okay, now after you've got the chain around there, now we'll go ahead and tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, I went ahead and snugged it up a little bit. And how I did that, I took my right hand and held it on there like this and flipped it up that way. And then just tightened it right there. So it's just barely snug on there, which is what I want. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover on like that. And I'm not gonna tighten this up all the way either. I just want the cover on to hold the blade, the bar, and the chain in place. So I'm just hand tightening that, just barely. That's it right for now. Now I'm gonna take this, flip it over here. Now I can tighten it up some more. This is where I want to tighten it up to the desired tension, and then I'll tighten that front bolt up more. So I'm just gonna snug it up there. Okay, as with many chainsaws, this one's a little bit shorter, so you don't get that same snap back that you might want, but a little bit. So you just kind of want it barely enough so it snaps back. And then this chain's gonna stretch too, so after you use it for the first time, you're gonna wanna make sure you tighten it. So now that I didn't tighten this yet, I'm gonna go ahead and take and crank that down. There we go, now I'm ready. But first I need to add some bar oil right in here. Okay, now ready to rock and roll with this thing. I'll take the end cap off here. And just like the other one, slide that in there, and then we'll pull that and snap it in. Yep, so just to show you to snap it in, I pull it out like that, snap it in, and then pull it down like that. Now it won't go anywhere. And then give it a little tighten right there as well. All right, there's a look at it with the chainsaw extension on there, the chainsaw attachment. Check this baby out. So to operate that, again, push the button in, pull the trigger. Long screen too, okay. Okay, how about that? Ready? Uh-huh. Right, now to detach it, just untwist that, pull this out, and then you can slide it right out. And when you're putting this thing away, it's a good idea to put the cover on it. All right, now I'm gonna put the weed whacker portion on. So I'm just gonna loosen this nut here. So that nut will just keep turning, but what you wanna do is stick the Allen wrench in there. That way, when you turn it, it won't turn the whole thing. It's not just sitting and spinning. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this piece off of here because it won't fit. It won't thread on there when you're trying to do it with that on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And now to screw this thing on, it's counterclockwise. Keeping this in here, and then I'm just tightening this up, hand tight. There we go. Now we're ready to roll for the weed whacker. So same thing, I'm gonna remove the end cap here. I'm setting these pieces aside, but I'm not throwing them away. All right, here's a look at it. Okay, now I left the guard off for demo purposes, but if you want to put the guard on, just take the head off, and now we'll go ahead and loosen up these screws right here. I'm just pulling this off here. Then we'll put this on, just line up the holes there. And there we go. Okay, now for the last attachment, I'm gonna go ahead and put this this edger on here. Remember, this thing's reverse threads. Remember, I'm holding this in that side right there and then tightening this up this way, counterclockwise. Okay, now that I've got that on there, I'll go ahead and remove this cover. There we go. Try this out.